The Xiaomi Redmi Note 7 recently launched in China, and now it's getting ready to launch in India. And if its launch in China was any indication, the Redmi Note 7 is going to be a really excellent value with some great hardware. Probably one of the more impressive specs on the Redmi Note 7 is the camera. It's got a 48 megapixel primary rear camera that's paired with a 5 megapixel secondary shooter and utilizes pixel binning to take better photos, although these shots will come out at 12 megapixels. The 48 megapixel sensor is the Samsung GM1 and not the Sony IMX, just in case you're curious. The front-facing camera is also pretty decent at 13 megapixels, and it sits inside of a tiny water drop notch. Now, the overall design of the Redmi Note 7 isn't all too different from a bunch of other phones on the market. It's sort of your typical glass sandwich design, but it does come in some really eye-catching gradient colors. I have the red version, but it also comes in a few other colors. The display on the front isn't anything too crazy. It's a 6.3-inch Full HD Plus LCD with a 19.5:9 aspect ratio, and from the short time that I spent with it, it looked pretty good, especially for an LCD. If you paid attention to the China launch, you probably know the specs by now, but as a quick rundown, it's got a Snapdragon 660, a large 4000 mAh battery, and comes in 3, 4, or 6 GB of RAM options. The Redmi Note 7 also includes a micro SD card slot, an IR blaster, and a headphone jack. Some of these features you can't even find in high-end smartphones anymore, so it's pretty incredible to see it in a smartphone that cost about $150 when it launched in China. That's pretty much going to do it for our hands-on of the Redmi Note 7. We'll go more in depth with the hardware, camera, software, and everything else that you might want to know about it in our full review. So stay tuned for that, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.